Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of the Crown and College Podcast presented to you by the CSPN. I'm one half of your host, Jeremy, aka Black Dante on Twitter, aka Niggamord, aka Vice President Big Knees, aka Please Don't Be Alive than me doing work. Please, thank you so much. And as usual, I'm joined by my friend and my co-host.
This Bianca, and I like my job. I don't know what this nigga talking about.
Well, shout out to you, but my co-workers. First of all, you got a better job than me. You already know I'm over here working at the ghetto, so you know my stories about my co-workers at work. So like I said, good luck, everybody. But we back for another week. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning in to this hashtag content. Um, And speaking of hashtag content, the CSPN is rolling out new hashtag content. We just launched a new podcast with my co-host on and friend on my other show, Ratchet Ramblings. Candace and her husband Mike have launched the Not So Newlyweds podcast on CSPN, bringing you a different perspective about marriage and love and all that good stuff, and not just limiting it to cisgendered couplings. It's going to be a broad conversation about love, relationships, and all that good stuff. With all, it's going to be a very inclusive show. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. They had their first episode launched today. Some stuff is going behind the paywall of the Patreon. Which, speaking of, we have finally launched the Patreon for the CSPN. Hashtag bonus content that you can help along with shopping with all of our sponsors. Just another way for you, the listener, to help out the network. It's different than shopping with our sponsors. There's no extra cost to you. With Patreon, you subscribe and we give you bonus stuff. Me and Bianca decided that and I guess I'll make this church announcement here, that the Bring It Bikes that we do, we're going to move that behind the paywall. So
behind the paywall.
Come on, vocals.
And now y'all know why I don't sing on this show.
Well, I mean, you sound better than me because
And you was begging to sing on this shit back in the day. How dare you?
Because look, growth, okay, growth. But we're gonna move some stuff behind the paywall. And yeah, go on, mosey on over, subscribe. Big things are going on over at the CSPN. Got the new logo and everything. Shout out to Candace for the new logo. Also, shout out to Candace for the new Crown of College logo. Which we're gonna keep this logo because shout out to Candace. She did a thing with this logo. I like this logo. So yeah. I think that's all the church announcements. Unless you got something else, Bianca. I think that's all the church announcements.
Okay, I can't say the other one yet. But we have other exciting things in the works for the CSPN, and I am like on the edge of my seat about it because I'm so excited. And I can't wait for y'all to get to see what we got going.
Yes, a lot of things are going on. But yeah, so we're gonna get into the show. We got some things to talk about, things to discuss. Because we recording late on the Thursday night, and I got to get my black ass up in the morning. But you know what? It's fine.
Everybody half-asses work on Fridays. What are you talking about?
It is fine. It is fine. It is fine. But yeah. So okay. So I want to talk about this. This isn't a drag. It isn't a. It's something that I want to talk about pretty transparently and openly and candidly. And this isn't a drag. This isn't me trying to belittle anybody. This isn't me trying to single anybody out. It is about social media and an exchange I had with a mutual follower. Former mutual follower at this point. But if you've heard this show, if you heard me talk about this on here, Ratchet Ramblings or any other podcasts that I've guested on. I've been saying, you know, not all these Black Lives Matter because some of these niggas can go. That ain't even like an original phrase from me. I think XD was the first person that I heard say that, to be perfectly honest. But I don't say it for shock value. I don't say it for, you know, pats on the back or anything. Like, I really feel that way. And the reason I feel that way is because Black Lives Mattering to me is more than just mattering about those that are slain unjustly by the police. It's also about the ones that are still alive. And and especially as I'm getting older, and especially as I'm learning more and just seeing the world for what it is, and then in particular within our community, both online and offline, because I feel like a lot of us, you know, base a lot of stuff on online interactions, and then we kind of act like, you know, Twitter is the Matrix almost, you know, and like it's the real world and it's Twitter, and then like on Twitter we're in a bubble, and then on the outside, offline, we're not in a bubble, which honestly isn't the case because most of us are in just as much of a bubble, if not more so, as we are online, because the average person doesn't talk to a variety of people for various reasons, you know, job, you know, family, kids, whatever. Like, we don't have time to really converse with a variety of people, and a lot of us don't have the means to converse with a variety of people, and honestly, a lot of us don't like to talk to a lot of people on a day-to-day basis. Like, the average person will talk to is probably like their family, you know, their boyfriend, girlfriend, or, you know, non-binary, what have you, their co-workers, and that's about it. And that's not, you know, depending on what you do in your surroundings, that's not really a wide sample size, you know what I mean? But we like to do this thing, especially online and on Twitter, where we're like, it's almost kind of like, you know how like niggas love to like rewrite history and revisionist history about how great the 90s were, like, and how great 90s basketball and shit were. We kind of do that shit with other shit. So,
well, yeah, the 90s as a whole gets treated with the most ridiculous kid gloves, in my opinion, of all time, personally. So I've been like, on my old account, I literally had the phrase "the '90s" muted because I got sick of you niggas romanticizing about the '90s. Because I worried about the condition of y'all pants a lot. When
but yeah, but so what I'm getting at is, I don't really believe in this. When I say not all these Black Lives Matter because some of these niggas can go, I mean that because I put it like this. Put it like this. And I was talking to Bianca and earlier about it pregame, and I'll give an example of more or less something that I'm talking about. If you remember, I think the young man's name was Stephen Clark. He got gunned down unjustly by the police. And then some, I think now in context, I do think it was like a Russian bot or something that unearthed a lot of his old, and I don't even want to say like real old because it wasn't that long ago, to be perfectly honest. I think the latest one that was unearthed was maybe like what, 2014, I think, 2015. Like, so not that long ago.
I mean, you know, so the revolution really began in 2014, but continue.
But yeah, they were
like, honestly, that's when, like, that was the launch pad. Yeah, I don't say that to editorialize about it. I say it to say like that's when the shit really, like, that was the touchstone moment. Like, we started swinging the gate back outwards and around that time. So continue.
Fair. Oh, speaking of, real quick, I saw that well, I didn't see because I haven't watched that Trayvon Martin documentary. I want to watch it. I understand because I saw a lot of people saying they wasn't gonna watch it, which I totally understand. I do want to watch it. I just have to be in the right mind frame to watch it. But I totally understand people that didn't watch it and just couldn't stomach, you know, reliving that again. I totally understand. But what I'm getting at is, yeah, his old tweets were unearthed, and there was a lot of misogyny, a lot of colorism, a lot of homophobia, coupled with, I think, his child's mother, also a lot of colorism, a lot of internalized misogyny, also a lot of homophobia. And I remember some black women at the time being like, I'm not happy that he died, and I'm not saying that how he was killed wasn't unjust, but while he was alive, he didn't give a fuck about us. I remember some gay brethren and sister being like, yeah, when he was he died fucked up, and that's fucked up how he died, and he didn't deserve to die, but while he was alive, he didn't give a fuck about us. Like if the roles were reversed, he wouldn't give a shit. And I saw some black men doing this. I don't really have the exact words for it, but just in layman's terms, like this performative solidarity, where it's like if one of us, and I mean just focusing it on cishet black men, like if one of us gets murdered or shit, not even if we murdered, but like if we're alive and we're not showing that solidarity, that empathy, that kindness, that grace, that, you know, togetherness with other members of our community, and those members of our community be like, oh fuck that nigga, then like as cishet men, we try to flip it like, well, I don't like this. This is divisive. You know, I don't, you know, how could you be so cruel or whatever? You know, this is what white supremacists say. First of all, white supremacists don't give a fuck about us one way or the goddamn other. That's number fucking one. So me not being here for certain niggas is not gonna make a goddamn difference to a white supremacist that don't like none of our black asses. So that's number one. But I feel like it's like this performative, like I had a tweet earlier where and it was really just a general tweet. That this was like maybe yesterday or day before, whatever. I can't damn remember. But I had a tweet where I'm like, we expect marginalized groups to be angels when the privileged groups bring the devil to their doorstep. And that's kind of how I feel that cishet black men do within the community, where it's like another cishet man, black man, dead or alive, ain't here for the rest of the community. And then when the rest of the community say fuck that nigga or they indifferent, then we get on our moral high horse and be like, how could you say such a thing? And like I said, for me, I care about not only the ones that have gone, but also the ones that's here. So if you are a black man and you don't give a fuck about black women, you are misogynistic, you are sexist, you don't care about the gender inequalities and issues that women cis or non-binary or trans go through, if you are homophobic, if you are transphobic, if you are ableist, like if you don't give a fuck about any of the other communities within blackness other than yourself as a cishet black man, to me, you can go. And that's just how I feel. Now, you may feel differently, and I understand that. And you may not rock with how I feel, and I understand that too. And we can coexist, we can disagree, and we can just coexist. But to me, don't preach solidarity to me when other niggas within the group of blackness don't have solidarity for these other marginalized groups within blackness. Like, you can go. If you're not useful, you useless. If you're not useful to anybody but yourself within the community, you can go. If you are harmful to other people within the community, you can go. To me, you can go. One less harmful person. And maybe, and like I said, if you thought I was the moral pillar or moral tower, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm sorry that, you know, you may be turned off by my views. I understand. We may lose listeners for this. Listen, I lost followers earlier tonight, and that's why I'm talking about it a little bit. And I'm not telling people to go drag those people. I'm not telling people to go, you know, and I'm not dragging them. Like, to me, it's not that deep.
You ain't finna come my listeners, the Jim Beam and Cornbread Show, brought to you by Bianca.
Hilarious. Hilarious. But yeah, that's just like, I just wanted to make that candid and be transparent to me, because to me, I can't do at my big age and my nigga sense. Shout out to Curtis. I can't do the false solidarity. Like, we have to be honest. And I'm not saying that niggas who are trash can't grow. And y'all know how I feel about growth. But I'm not saying they can't grow. I'm not saying they can't change. I'm not saying they can't evolve. But especially if they are not showing any semblance of trying to be better and trying to have more solidarity for other people in blackness other than themselves, them niggas can go. And I won't feel one way about them. And that's just me. And that's all I had to say.
I mean, again, we're in this era where it's like, thing I say often is, more voices. And, I say that to say, like, the least amongst us get the bump up in the voices, not just more, just of those who have like the highest degrees of privilege. And as you knock them down, the highest remaining. But, again, more queer voices, more trans voices, more, voices, from the disabled community and from, maybe the hard of hearing community even. And, the more we just hear from these people and acknowledge their humanity, the better able we are to serve these different communities. But we don't get that if we wring our hands and we worry about like tone and we worry about like, I don't like the way you said that, or that hurt my feelings. And it's like, you got to understand, like, you might have hurt feelings, but the thing that was said by me that hurt your feelings is reactionary to your display of outward disdain at my mere existence. So if you want me to coddle to your hurt feelings, I'm sorry, it's not happening. And then it just fans out from there. If you decide you dislike the trans community that much more because of me, then, I mean, I guess I got to eat that. But at the same time, it's like, what favors have you done for, again, the greater Black community at large? And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what they're doing, and I don't know what they might have up their sleeves or whatever, but I kind of feel like I got a hint.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just, like, as far as, and I don't want to revisit this too at depth, but as far as old boys, misogynoir, what have you, like, living on the West Coast has shown me that Black people on the West Coast, with the exceptions of like Oakland and like parts of Los Angeles, have really strange relationships with Blackness. Really strange relationships with Blackness. And I'm not saying that like to pinpoint one or two people, including him, but just in the composite. Okay, here's an example. So I was group watching Ball in the Family with some people, and some of them had seen it before, some had seen some episodes. Some had seen every episode. I was in the middle. I saw it a couple times, but they were talking about how all three of the son's significant others were, either white women or like of that aesthetic, basically. And it just made me wonder, well, what is like the demographics of Chino Hills, California, where they grew up? It's like an southeast suburb of Los Angeles. And I will say, if you are looking for Black people in Chino Hills, California, good luck. Now, they've got some worldliness about them, you've seen some more of the world and what have you. And they can, I guess you'd say, have their share of more people that exist in the world. I don't know how to really phrase this, but Chino Hills is 4.6% Black. Let's just go ahead and take the bat off the shoulder and put the number out there. So I understand, like, in that way, how, again, the relationship to Blackness gets contorted, and like even living here, like talking to people who grew up here, and they say like how they always struggled with various tenets of what it means to be Black and what have you. And I get it. As an outside observer, I get it, because I know what my experience was like growing up in New Orleans, going to college in Atlanta, getting to spend some time in Chicago, and then leaving the country, and then now coming out here. And so I always try to like make sure the bell curve's in the right place for those folks. But at the same time, it's like, we got resources, we can learn, we can be better. We don't have to be this actively harmful in this way. And that's the stuff I can't get down with. If you grew up around one thing, and your environment led you to one particular prevailing notion or the other, I can't do anything about that. But if you are being actively damaging to the community that most looks like you, then I'm gonna say, yo, pump your brakes. Like, you're doing too much. Like, this gotta stop. Chill. So yeah, when it comes to that, and with those folks, and then folks even from other places that don't have very many black people, I try to make sure that I don't judge them through my lens. I really try to make sure I don't judge anybody through my lens, in terms of like their own like lived experiences. I try to take my lens to the table and like offer it up as a, hey, like, here's how we can be better versions of ourselves. And this is an example how that like comes from my life. And this is an example that, something I've observed or what have you. But yeah, I'm still doing that work of holding people to the standards they set for themselves. But then also on the other side, being able to show them, hey, like, there's a better version of you in there somewhere. Also, I usually don't do this, but I apologize for my voice. I lost my voice 3 nights ago. So talking is hard right now. Words are difficult.
It's fine. Well, my black ass can talk enough for the both of us. So, but yeah, I wanted to share that in context, in my full train of thought, because I'm pretty sure it's probably somebody else that saw that exchange, or just maybe had a like, Jeremy, why do you say not all these Black Lives Matter? Like, what why what do you mean by that? So that's just what I mean by it. And like I said, you don't have to agree. I understand. It not being a very nice thing to say and feel, but I can only say how I feel. I didn't mean for that to play real quick. So speaking of I don't even have a segue for this. I had one, but then I lost my train of thought.
Who cares? Segues.
Right. Segway Jones over here. So Monique, talk about when you do clownery.
Ooh, sheesh.
We was room for you, Monique. We all room for you. And let me say this. Because speaking of thoughts, I had a lot of thoughts about this when it first happened, and I purposefully didn't talk about it on social media because I wanted to be able to articulate my thoughts. I wanted to articulate my thoughts as best I could, and all my feels as best I could. So I purposefully didn't talk about it on social media. I specifically wanted to wait till we got to the podcast to talk about it. So Monique came to the defense of Roseanne. She said Roseanne made him, and Bianca, correct me if I'm wrong, but and it's funny that Bianca actually was the one that showed me the story when it happened, and and I asked Bianca, is it as bad as it looks? And she was like, yeah. So Monique came to the defense of Roseanne. She said that Roseanne is her sister in comedy. She said that Roseanne made a mistake. She says that she shouldn't have got fired. She understands what it's like to be blackballed, and that she can learn from this and she should be given a second chance. Bianca, correct me if I missed anything.
No, not really. Because yeah, she continued. She said, "Don't throw away for making a mistake." And she was like, "Yeah, Roseanne like gave me some advice when I first jumped into like the comedy world. Yes, my sister made a mistake, and she said something I know she wishes she could take back. Which, come on, no, this ain't it, Monique. It's not something she could take back.
This ain't that. This ain't that, and that ain't it.
She said her apology, like the second apology she gave, she thought that the woman was white, Valerie Jarrett. She thought she was like no. That don't make it okay either. And if your terms and conditions are, I say this about white people, what? The
Right.
consequence, and then so me continues. The consequence is what the consequence is, but I know what it is to be thrown away based off of a lie. And it's like, this is the truth. What are you? What? Like, she lost her shit because of a series of events that happened. Love, like this ain't it. This is not the one. Wrong door.
Yeah, this is the wrong hill to die on, Monique. Now I want to say this because I'm pretty sure, as a matter of fact, I am sure because I did see this, the little bit I did see about this. As wrong as Monique is on this, I don't feel it negates anything that she said or that whole thing about Netflix. I think two things can exist at one time.
Oh,
And
definitely, yeah.
she is a whole ass idiot for this shit, but also Netflix did do her dirty, like because especially after what Dame, the thing with Dame, like you can't just because you don't like Monique for this, which valid, like this is, I'm not defending this because this is Monique, girl. What the fuck are you doing? And it's also ironic considering that, yes, considering that shit with Netflix, but it doesn't negate the shit with Netflix. It doesn't negate the shit she said about Tyler Perry, about Oprah, to a more severe degree. What's the nigga name that had the goddamn shawl on? What's the nigga name? Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't negate any of that shit. But even with that shit, it's like because I think what were we on? I think we was on Mocha Minute. So shout out to Stephanie. I said it then, like there is valid stuff that you can critique about Monique. She has her flaws. Some flaws you can't defend. Speaking of a damn mistake, this is child the ghetto of mistakes. Defending Roseanne's ass, and you can validly critique that about her, but it doesn't negate that Netflix, and subsequent others did her dirty. Now, with all that said, Monique, girl, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's not, niggas love to jump to the defense of a racist white woman. I'll talk about one in particular later on, but niggas don't, and I'm using that gender friendly, love nothing more than to defend a racist white woman. And I don't goddamn get it. Like, baby, of all the hills for you to die on, why?
Okay, so Monique continued. I love you. I know you made a mistake. I know you messed up, but still, I won't throw you away. I won't put you on the racist list and say, "Oh, never again." That is my
Girl, what? Okay, I'm sorry, Bianca. Continue. I'm sorry.
not a racist, but she called former National Security Advisor Susan Rice, who's another black woman, a man with big swinging 8 balls.
Mm.
Sure, Jan, she's not racist. Okay, you need me. This is what you need me to believe at this very moment. Fine. Okay, I believe you. Congratulations. Wait until she comes for you.
Right. Right. Like I don't know why niggas think they the magical snowflake of of races. Like I don't get it. Like even ooh, this ain't the show for that because I had never mind. I almost had shade on me. Anyway, I think it's like one of those things where it's like I know this person and this person is nice to me.
Yes.
So therefore, what they do to other people, I mean, it's bad. But I mean, can I really throw this person away? Like, I mean, I know out of 10 people, I'm the one that this one person treated good. And I know what they did to the rest of you 9 people is messed up. But I mean, can we really throw her away? Yes, nigga. Yes, yes, we can. We can call a spade a spade. Now, you might not want to throw them away, and you might want to die on a sinking ship, which that's your right. But some people might throw you away for attaching yourself to somebody that's trash. But you got to live with those consequences. But yes, we absolutely can throw her away. Yes, especially with the fact that it ain't like she going. Roseanne is not hurting at all. Roseanne will be and just is fine because nobody gets canceled, which who I won't get on my soapbox about how annoying y'all are with that shit. And I'm not talking about the people that are against cancel culture, quote unquote. Who y'all get on my nerves with that shit. But anyway,
at me or dap me, fam.
Well, you know, we go at it off air, so it's fine. But anyway, but it's love. But anyway, she will be fine. Like Monique didn't need to do this, and all it does is give people that already didn't like you, even with that Netflix shit, a reason to say, "Oh well, fuck this bitch." That's all that it's giving you, Monique. Like, you should have just sat there and ate your goddamn food when you do the clownery. Then she went on TV with an ugly ass wig. That's the I know that's small potatoes on the scale, but see, this is what watching reality TV does to me, and being on Twitter so long is that and interacting and with so many women is like I can spot a bad wig from a mile away. She went on national TV with a goddamn church a Mima ass wig. Like that one, she had the hair like that one lady in church that always have like peppermints and like
oh dear
Werthers and shit in her purse.
Oh,
where to lie?
Wow.
Where to lie? Where to lie?
Ooh, can we just change topics right now, like right in a second, so I can close this tab? I want to justify closing this tab. Please bring in the next topic right now.
Fine, close the tab. Close the tab.
It's gone.
Close the tab. But speaking of other niggas doing the dab for racists. So Dak Prescott. Or maybe we should call him Dak Coon Scott.
No. We'll no.
Too far? Too far?
It's not that it's too far. It's just I didn't laugh.
Oh, that's well.
Yeah, no, oh God, that guy. Okay, so here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that. So the Dallas Cowboys, and like, shout out to Jenkins and Jones. Fuck this football shit. We reading books out here, nigga.
Yeah.
That is the book club, Internet Friends Book Club. We out here, gang, squash shit. You know, reading these motherfucking books. So I'm not all that invested in like the sport of the NFL at this time. But the team composition of the NFL is such that they're a team that, you know,
America's team.
No, fuck that. They tend to just go, like, you know, Jerry Jones talks to them and asks them about themselves, and they usually like they will sign dudes who have troublesome past, but like the people they actually pick onto their team, they're usually pretty high character guys. Like, they don't really have big issues like off the field or on the field that much. Like I said, they will occasionally reach for a player like that Greg Hardy dude who have issues. But yeah, the ones they pick, and I think really even like, you know, I think even he was like a learning lesson for him. Like, we need to watch the dudes we sign on even. They don't get into the whole like civil disobedience just because, but at the same time, like this whole like the way he was in the media talking about toe on a line, hand on the heart, he's lost that battle. And here's how he lost that battle. During training camp this past week, they were playing the national anthem to start training camp, which not gonna get into the merits of how smart or not smart that is. Maybe he just wants the team to practice what they do and how they line up or whatever. But Jerry Jones had his hat on during the playing of the national anthem. And someone leaned in and told him, by the way, Jerry, you got your hat on. He laughed and kept his hat on. Now, I've been in a sporting game or two in my life, and they say, please rise, remove all hats and covers for the singing of the national anthem. It's part and parcel for the way that the tradition is performed. Again, whatever opinions we may have about it, I don't really care about, because we're talking about someone who obviously has a really strong opinion about it, who did the fucking procedure wrong. So if I'm a Cowboys player, that's all I got to point to. That's all I got to look at and say, I mean, shit, you can't even get it right. Why am I the expectation to get it right? We'd have a discussion about it. We'd talk about it. Why am I being held to rules you can't follow? So I don't know. It's a lot. And that came out. He basically read the company line, which the more I think about it, the less I even care, TBH. Um, because like that team does not currently have the player on it who's gonna come out and be like, we ain't doing that shit. Um, and even when Des Bryant was on it, Des wasn't gonna be the one to come out and be like, we ain't doing that shit. But yeah, no, it just oh god, the whole thing fell apart like from the moment we put this runner together until now. Because it's like, what do we even do with this? How do we process the fact that this man and his son been talking all this cash shit about y'all need to do this for the anthem, and he runs the quarterback out there to just read the company lines off to everybody, and then like 1 or 2 days later, this happens.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how mad I am at
this point, I don't even think it's necessarily that we mad because we kind of, I mean, especially both of us, like we kind of like, well, I ain't no kind of, we like fuck the NFL anyway. I think, and I don't want to like project into you, Bianca, but I think it's kind of like we don't care, but just to see I don't know, maybe it's just something in us that we're always going to, I guess, be disappointed when someone black kind of toes that company line to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what it was is the double down that he did. That kind of was like, nigga, because it was kind of like, because when he said, he was like, it's, I don't feel that it's a proper time and place for protest or demonstration. Well, nigga, that's the point of a protest. like that's the point of a demonstration. Like that's the point. Like it's never gonna be the point is it's not the right time, but when you mistreat people and you have a fundamentally fucked up system that mistreats people and they get fed up with that shit, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of quote unquote not the right time because it's never gonna be the right time. That's the point of the protest. But and we've gotten so far removed, and I think I said this before, but we've gotten so far removed from what Colin actually knelt for. Like we've gotten so beyond that point to where it's like it's a reason why we don't cover as much NFL stuff, at least pertaining to this, as we used to, because it's like it's almost like preaching to the choir. And it's also like we've just been so exhausted. Like as much as we've gotten to the away from the original point and message of Colin's protest and this shit show of a circus about fucking kneeling and how much the NFL and the owners and Goodell and stuff are full of shit. It's just it's like we don't put a podcast together for y'all to hear us sigh over the NFL all goddamn night for however long the podcast is. So it's just kind of like that NFL can go to hell. Like that's kind of NFL can go to hell. Speaking of someone that speaking of a league that does get it right and its players do get it right, LeBron James. LeBron James has continued to show that he is just as great of a human being off the court as he is on the court. All right, thank you, Bianca.
I'm sorry, what?
LeBron has opened.
LeBron James. LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James.
Thank you so much, Bianca. LeBron has opened a school, y'all. He has opened. Bianca, take it away. Educate the people, please.
So the I Promise Academy is set to open in Akron, Ohio. The I Promise Academy is a public school. It is not, how to say, it is not a charter school. It's not a private school. They began school on Monday. And it is a school for 240 at-risk students. Let's see. Trying to find the tweet. I had it pulled up earlier. It had everything listed. The kids get, 2.5 meals. They get breakfast, lunch, snacks, all free. They get a bike. They do a full school day, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. They are being offered classes in things like emotional support and basically just being in touch with your feelings, which is,
which is especially important for young black boys to develop emotional intelligence. That is very, very critical.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
He says that as a kid he had a bicycle, which is a big thing in his childhood. Gave him a way to escape from dangerous part of his neighborhood and also the freedom to explore. So that's why he decided, hey, I'm going to give every child a bike when they arrive. The school will also provide services to families, which includes job placement assistance for parents, an on-site food bank, and also GED training and or no, I said job placement already. Never mind. Let's see. There are services available to help students deal with stress related to parents who are struggling to make ends meet. You know what that's like. From latchkey kids to kids who tend to go without dinner to kids who don't see parents because they work multiple jobs to make ends meet. So they have ways to fill in those gaps. And there's also activities in mind to keep the kids from having too much idle time and potentially getting into trouble. This is on the heels of his 2015 initiative to pay for 1,000 kids to attend college, and also the Wheels for Education program, which began in 2011, which was designed to help kids get computer access, school supplies, and a bicycle, again, which was designed to keep kids motivated to complete their homework, get good grades, so that they could reap the benefits of doing such. The school looks nice, I will say. Like every photo they've shown, like this looks like a place, and this has long been my gripe with public schools, but it looks like a place that kids will be proud of and not want to mark up or besmirch or tag on or anything like that. I hope that part of the No Idle Time initiative is a free expression wall somewhere where they can write things that they would like to say, I guess, or draw things or have an artistic outlet or what have you. I hope that that's either in the plans, already there, or like can come about. And obviously be monitored, nobody drawing penis pictures and saying fuck this student or fuck that student or whatever.
Right.
But yes, the school is starting with 3rd and 4th grade and will expand both directions. It'll be 1st to 8th grade eventually.
I think this is very, 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 very great. My goat is offering amazing opportunities for public schools. Meanwhile, some other people's goal is supports the school to prison pipeline. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
I don't know if he's supposed to school to prison pipeline, but he definitely has been very hands off with the notion of the effects of capitalism on accessibility to his sneakers. And I'm not saying LeBron's necessarily immune from that.
Right. Because we want to be honest.
Right. I mean, Stephon Marbury is still a gold standard if that's what we want to talk about. But continuing.
Yeah.
Stephon solo shoes $15. Like, come on, you're not Anyway, they were like legit like basketball grade shoes, like not just like some trash that someone. Anywho, continuing.
What they call the Starberries? Did we
Starberries, yeah.
talk about that?
I had a pair. Yes, we can talk about this. So I had a pair because I bought a pair when I was looking to play some more blacktop basketball, and I had read that they held up both in gyms and on blacktops, so problem solved. And as it turned out, they were really good basketball sneakers. I played on blacktops in them for about 2 years, and then I passed them on to somebody because I was doing more in gym stuff.
And that is the story of Bianca and Starberries.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm just so proud and so happy for LeBron. This is why I'm glad that LeBron is in LA. Because honestly, it's stuff like this. Well, I think LeBron is at peace with himself as far as his career. I think he is at peace with living out the rest of his career, just kind of, riding off into the sunset, whether he wins or loses. I think this move to LA was more about one, his family, and two, things that he wants to do off the court. And he looks happy. He looks at peace. So I am ecstatic that LeBron is in LA, and I'm ecstatic that he's doing things like this because I can't even fathom how long this has been in the works and how much time and money he has to have invested in this. Like it is amazing, and I'm so just thrilled at the idea of this, and that Braun is, literally putting his money where his mouth is. So, nothing but respect for my president.
Yeah, and I only say this to be like illustrative, not to demonstrate like he's somebody as a bad example necessarily, but a thing he can learn from is the failures of Deion Sanders' Prime Prep Academy, for example. They had 3 campuses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And when the school, a couple years after the school opened, they found that like laptops had been stolen from the school, and basically a lot of bad things happened to the school. And the closer these things happen to the schools, the people who suffer most are the kids. So I really feel like LeBron again wants to do this in the line of the kids come first, the kids matter most. That's why I'm doing this as a public school. And again, as I was mentioning earlier, it's a school that the kids can walk into from day one and have a sense of pride about it.
Yeah, I will. Sorry about that. But yeah, shout out to LeBron. Those kids, like, wow, they was when he was speaking, and like when they were showing videos of like the kids touring the school and stuff, and like the smiles on their faces and stuff, that brought me so much joy. It really did. So good for LeBron, good for those kids. It's not, I'm quite sure it's not perfect. I'm quite sure you can, point out some flaws in it or some things that Braun can do better and work on, which, I'm not against.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I think the thing is you let the school take its first steps, and you notice blind spots, and you hope that you can bring these things to like the people running the school, and that they'll consider these things and not just kind of blow people off.
Yes. Speaking of blowing people off, so
Capital Prep, Harlem Charter Schools. I hope Diddy's school goes just as well. To be honest, it's a charter school, but I hope it goes well.
Yes. Let it be useful. But speaking of blowing people off, so this is something that I just wanted to address. It's another thing that happened on social media and stuff where I had comments and I had thoughts and feelings, but it's different from just saying 180 characters and then me talking about it on the podcast and stuff. So I forget whatever the day, it don't damn matter. Tyson Beckford and Kim Kardashian got into a war of words. Tyson Beckford was on the Shade Room, which shout out to Crystal from the Read, because she said when she said that the Shade Room is responsible for all black on black crime, which is true. So yeah, Tyson Beckford was on the Shade Room, and he commented on a picture of Kim Kardashian. Did not at her. It was on the Shade Room, and he commented like most people that's on the Shade Room comment. And Kim saw it, and he said he wasn't a fan. It was of her body, like surgery and what have you. Surgery didn't look good to him and stuff. He said he was not a fan. And Kim saw it and reposted his response, his comment, because again, he didn't at her, didn't go on her page or whatever, just public on the Shade Room. And said that he called him sis and said rumor is that I know you're not a fan of it, sis. Like I said, call him a sis. And so I saw a lot of cisgendered cishet people look pretty funny in the light. And this isn't me trying to win Ally of the Year. This isn't me trying to perform. This is just me legitimately feeling like something is wrong, and that it can be if because people have their blind spots, people have chinks in the armor and stuff, where it can be like a teachable moment. Like, hey, like, because here's the thing. I don't disagree that Tyson Beckford could have said nothing. I don't disagree with that, although I do feel that saying that he could is kind of performative, especially considering that a lot of people, one, considering the platform of the Shade Room, two, considering that a lot of the people that were defending Kim's comments have said just as much, if not worse, about Kim. So I did feel that was kind of performative, but I get that he could have said nothing. Don't disagree. Where it gets iffy is Kim's response was homophobic. It was. And we can't sit here in good faith in that like it's not. Because whether or not the rumor, quote unquote, that Tyson Beckford is gay or on the download, first of all, we can't have it both ways where it's like we agree that someone's sexuality and how they identify isn't our business, but then be like, well, I mean, is it a rumor if it's true? I mean, when someone's using that as a clapback, that's homophobic. And I saw a lot of well-meaning people, quote unquote, do that thing where we know something is wrong, but we don't care, so we act like it's okay. Because those aren't two equal wrongs. Like, Kim would have been well within her right to clap back or say something or say nothing, pay him no mind. Because I mean, I understand the argument of a cisgendered identifying male should have shut the fuck up about a woman's body. I get that. I understand that. I do. However, questioning that man's sexuality because he said something that she didn't like, that's homophobic. It is. We've seen plenty of times on social media where a man will say something that a woman didn't like, and she will call him cis and question his sexuality. And we called that homophobic on the timeline. So you can't move the goalpost and say that it was okay for Kim to say that. It's not. It's not. It's a million. It's just like I guess the closest example that I can use being a cishet black man, like it would be like me resorting to misogyny in order to correct a racist white woman. Like it don't make it right. You know what I mean? Like it's not they aren't equal crimes. Like it's not equal, it's not the clapback isn't appropriate to the crime. And I just wanted to say, you know, like sometimes, and I do understand that it is a, you know, sometimes rocky relationship between gay men and women, but particularly gay black men and cishet black women, because on in the same breath that a lot of cishet black women can be homophobic, at the same time a lot of cisgender gay men can be misogynistic. So I understand that's a strained relationship, and I damn sure understand it's a very strange relationship with you know, cishet black men in the community. So please don't get me wrong and think that this is me acting like it's not, because I know it is. But we can call things, guys. Like it was homophobic. Kim was homophobic. Like we have to call spade, and it's similar to Monique down on the hill for Roseanne. It's like y'all was just getting on Kim for and that family for supporting MAGA, but you saying this obviously homophobic thing that she did wasn't homophobic. Like, come on, y'all. Like, we can be better than that. We can. A lot of y'all, hashtag y'all, are better than that. Like, come on. Come on. Now, you can definitely call Tyson Beckford a goofy because he is. But we don't need to question someone's sexuality. We can't have it both ways. Well, someone's sexuality and our business, but then we question their sexuality when they say something we don't like. So, be better. Do better. We can be better. That's all.
I had thoughts, but I forgot them.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue too. What was I gonna say about this? Yeah, the whole like usage of like cis as a demeaning comment. Here we go. I found it. As a demeaning, as a belittling, as a declaration of lesser than is always confusing to me. Always has been, even before I identified as trans. But it's certainly now that I'm on this side of the aisle. Is a thing that's just like, girl, what is you doing? Like, you are saying, like, you're trying to lower this man, what, to your level because you also identify as a woman? If someone called you cis, it wouldn't be a big deal? Like, what is the end goal of it? And again, I don't get to tell people, you know, about themselves in that way, but it definitely just does not sit right with me. Because I don't feel that womanhood, I don't feel that femininity, I don't feel that the notion of effeminate men, even necessarily, I don't feel that that's a signifier of inferiority. And so it strikes me as a really peculiar way to insult somebody when you are of that same element.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's just it. I wanted to make that note because you know we can be better than that. We can. But what we are not better than is hood niglature reviews, and, and we have another hood niglature review to read. We have this week's entry. Thug and Bella stayed down until he came up.
Wait, hold on. We got to say it right. Thug and Bella, :
Yes, Thug and Bella.
Until he came up.
Yes.
Because yeah, we need to illustrate that as the reader would see it. Except this is a verbal medium. So yes, understand that is Thug and Bella. Those are the people, and apparently she stayed down until he came up.
Correct.
I am riveted by this. Give him the summary.
Yes, written by Tracy B. The summary. We just got through talking about somebody in this family, but quote: "When a real nigga hold you down, you're supposed to drown." They quoted Kanye West.
Bound to fall in love.
Okay, all right.
I hate that song. I just put drums in that song when I just did that beat just then. Why does that song not have drums? Anyway, continue. Let's move on, shall we?
All right. So Bella lived by this infamous quote. But when she was the main one doing all the quote holding down in her relationship with Thug, yes, the nigga's name is Thug.
This is hilarious.
Yes. Thug was on a come up and he had sworn that he would take Bella along with him. This young couple had been through everything together, from family opposition to giving up on dreams. They may have been broke and starving, but they did it together. Bella didn't mind going through the struggle as long as she had her long-term boyfriend by her side. It was Thug and Bella against the world. At least that's what it felt like. Many people would have thought that she was crazy, but she knew that the reward would be great for sticking by her man throughout his tough times. After all, she had seen it several times where the men applauded and spoiled their women as soon as they came up. And all she wanted to do was live up to those popular relationship goals. Bella fell in love with Thug's character and never what he could do for her. Truth be told, he could do nothing for her. Yet. It was more so about what Bella could do for him when he was down and out. She showered Thug with love, compassion, and support. She nursed him and encouraged him to fulfill his dreams.
Wait, editorial, stop. Every time that the thing refers to him, can you just say the name Thug?
Yes, I can.
Thanks. Because this is killing me right now. That's this dude's name. Continue from where you left off.
No problem. Encouraged Thug to fulfill his dream of becoming a certified D-boy. She was there every step of the way. But what happens when a man is too focused on coming up that he slowly starts to leave you behind? Do you catch up or give up? Bella. And that is the summary for Thug and Bella, stayed down until he came up. For 99 cents on Kindle. 4.5 reviews. So let's read the review, shall we?
Let's get into some reviews, yes.
All right, this thing, it only has 1 star. It only has sorry, I said it only has a 1 star review, which I'm going to read. 1 star, very disappointed. This was a waste of my time. The book had no real storyline. I don't even want to read book 2. Well, let's see. No 2-star review, 3-star review. Let's see what we got cooking here. How many 3-star reviews? Only 1 3-star review.
Wow, people like this.
I see. The first book was the first book was very good, but I waited so long for the second book. I felt that it was garbage, more like a relationship novel. Oh shit. Holy shit, you weren't bullshitting, Bianca. 73%. This book has 26 reviews. 73% of them are 5 stars. 4%.
Wait, what?
I'm going to say that again. It has 26 reviews. It has a 4.5 out of 5 stars overall. 73% of the reviews are 5-star. 19% are 4-star. 4% are 3-star. And 4% are 1-star. Those are both the category.
1 and 1.
Right. And no 2-star review at all.
We going in there? No.
All right. Okay. Okay. 4-star review. Tracy B books always keep my attention. All right. Wait, okay, I got the okay. 4-star review that's titled 3.5 with the frowning emoji. First of all, and yes, they actually say that. First of all, I'm a huge Tracy B fan, but this wasn't her best. The book is slow. Hold on, wait. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, okay, I gotta read this from the top. First of all, I'm a huge Tracy B fan, but this wasn't her best. The book is slow. I'm reading these reviews as is. I talking like molasses. However, towards the end, it does pick up. For me, I felt no chemistry between the characters. There was more telling the story than showing it. I think that's why I didn't feel a connect. I didn't even feel like the characters really. Thug is weak and too naive to even be a dope boy, and Bella is just boring. I hope, I hope in book 2 her socialite picks up. Yes, they said socialite, not social life. Socialite.
Andrew Caldwell must have wrote that in it. Must have wrote that review.
You know what? I didn't see any errors or anything like that. Well, you damn sure left some in this review. I'm sorry, that was petty. But I felt the story dragged a little bit. I'm sure book 2 will do better. I do recommend the read, but if you are a fan of her White Brother series, oh my fucking God. White Brother series, just let me know that this isn't as exciting, at least not yet. Nigga, the thought of a series called White Brother, and yes, they do spell it WHYT. Yes,
No.
yes.
Does brother end in A? Yes or no?
No, it does not end in A. That's the only thing that could have made it better. Holy shit. So you know what I'm gonna look for next time. Woo. Okay, next review. Thug down, Bella up. This story was rather cliche, but I still enjoyed reading it. Even with the money, Jalissa and her brother were stupid, crude, and envious people. I felt so sorry for Thug because Bella will be all right. Looking forward to reading the sequel. Okay. All right, this is the last review. You know what? No, let's go to the 5-star reviews. Let's go to the 5 stars. Okay. All right, 5 stars. First read by her. This book was being advertised down my Instagram timeline today, of course, and I thought I would check it out. Just so happens I once attended the same college as the author and even sat in a class with her and was so unaware that she wrote books. As the saying goes, never judge a book by its cover. Talk about cliche. And that is so true. This book was about a girl riding for her man until he got what he needed to be. Even though I couldn't really stand how Belle mistreated her mom, then later needed her mom, it didn't take away from it being a good read. I didn't care for Jamil because as a man, you don't sit back and allow your woman to starve because of you. He took a major L for that. I definitely will recommend this book to some of my people. Gotta look out for any tiger that is doing great things. Keep up the good work, colleague. Okay. All right. Okay. 5 stars. Outstanding. Money does change people. He left a little money. Oh, what? What? Okay. He let a little money away woman in his head. Yes, I read that as is. That's why I paused before I read shit because these people in these good. This like when we used to read Misconnection shit. Making him forget all about the one person who gave up everything to be by his side and was there when he had nothing. You never turn your back on those that were there for you when you had nothing. The ones that are only when they're when you need it might not mean you any good. I have mixed feelings. Part of me hopes that the two of them can make it work. Part of me hopes that she leaves and moves on to someone better. She did that. All right. Disloyal. Thug is so ungrateful. I'm glad that Bella didn't fight R his loyal ass. Okay, let me read that again. I'm sorry. Thug is so ungrateful, and I'm so glad that Bella didn't fight R his disloyal ass. Jalissa doesn't want him for real. She just want him because he was after her. Jealousy will make you do some crazy things. This is another great series, Tracer B. It's slowly becoming one of my favorite auteurs. I got nothing. I got nothing after that. I think that's it. I think
that's a good place to wrap.
Yeah, that's a good place to wrap up. So yeah, Thug and Bella, : Damn, I just closed the shit. I forgot the damn title of the book, and we just read the shit.
Thug and Bella stayed down till he came up.
Yes, thank you, Bianca. Thank you. But yeah, so that has been Hood Niglature reviews for the day, and I think we can call this a wrap because I got to get my black ass up in the morning.
All right, final words. Anything?
Final words, closing thoughts. Do better, be better, treat people better, listen to people better. Care about Black lives that are alive, not just the ones that are dead. Yeah, that's about it. Just overall, let's do better as people, for people, by people. That's all I got.
In closing, I will say that the 85 South show published their telling. We talked 2 weeks ago about the cast members telling of what happened at the Wild 'N Out taping featuring Azealia Stinks. Shout out to Sky Jackson, gang shit. But yes, they have a video up on YouTube in which they talk about what happened with Azealia Banks on the Wild 'N Out episode. The video is it's over an hour and a half long because they brought the show to Miami and they brought it there with the intention of doing a proper like comedian show where like the three of them, Chico Bean, DC Young Fly, and Carlos Miller did their little sets, and then they all came out together for a little bit to do a set. But one of them brought up the incident vaguely, and DC Young Fly was like, no, we're going to tell the truth about this. And so they did their retelling of it. And I will say that just about every single detail aligns with that other person's secondhand account or firsthand account of what happened. It's a secondhand because like she wasn't like a friend of theirs or anything. She was a friend of somebody who like produces the show or some shit.
Right.
And yeah, everything came out to be about exactly the same as she told it, the way they told it. Anyway, the whole special's funny, but if you just want to hear that part, skip to about the 1 hour, 11-minute mark, and they will talk about it.
Yes.
And that shit had me in stitches, especially the part where they talked about Designer.
Yes, because, making fun of Designer has been a running joke on this podcast.
Yes. By the way, when's the last time you listened to a Designer song?
Is he still with us?
Probably not, but when's the last time you listened to a Designer song? I mean, the shit is on Spotify, ain't it?
I didn't know he made music over than that one song. Well, he's not Future, but he is not Future.
Let's see. Let us chart then. As soon as
let's research this. That nigga's still alive.
As soon as I can get off of the Ready for the World page, because I've been listening to Ready for the World a lot lately.
Smart.
I don't know why. I've been listening to Oh Sheila a lot, and I've been listening to Conga by Miami Sound Machine a lot.
Smart.
Go. That's been like my 2-track playlist all week. That should be yours too. Designer has an album called New English. I think this is the most appropriate thing of all time because that nigga does speak. Nigga does speak Flintstone. He speaks like Flintstone mixed with mystical. It's the weirdest shit.
Mixed with lean.
And they were like, yeah, he was on it. It was busting. He was like, yeah. Yeah, keep that shit going.
Sound like a clown that's crying while he busting a gap.
I got bros in the letter. But no. Yeah, that's my closing remarks. Watch that. I found it hysterical personally. And I also found it something how like those two tellings like lined up so well. Because people were saying how, he was being colorist and shit. And at first it's like, come on, like y'all don't got to resort to that. And then it's like,
Maybe.
I don't know if that's what happened based on like even the way the show is structured. I don't think the producers would have necessarily let that fly, but they even said in this whole thing, and like I said, I'm gonna say this and get out of here. They get told all the time, like, "Hey, we having such and such guest on. Like, don't say this about him, don't say that about him." And other than that, it's just to have make jokes, be witty, be clever, have a fun time, and keep the shit moving.
Pretty much. So
And
yeah,
the designer was in there laughing while it was busting jokes on him, and it was cracking that nigga. I remember that episode.
Yes.
I don't even watch the shit that much, but I went and watched that one. They was busting on him like heavy.
Yeah.
So I don't know what didn't make it on the show. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah. It did fall off. It did.
I mean, shout out to the Comic View 2018 hashtag. Comedy changes. The show is what it is and entertains in the way it does. I'm not trying to hold it to any standards other than what it's trying to do. But they do what they do well. That much I will say.
Fair.
It ain't always necessarily my cup of tea. I don't always go for everything that they consider joke fodder. I didn't consider everything in this fucking special I'm telling y'all to go listen to appropriate joke fodder. But they do what they do well.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't perfect. I ain't perfect. Problem solved.
This is a perfect way to close out the show. We'll be back next week. Thank you all for listening, and peace.
Keep your ears tuned. Big things coming on the CSPN. Bye.